Gentlemen, let's talk leadership. I mean real, raw, masculine leadership. Not the fake, I read one Instagram quote and now I'm an alpha male kind of leadership. Look, I'm talking about that kind of leadership that comes from the front lines of life, combat boot dirty, callous hands, crying baby at 3 a.m. and your bills, they're crying louder than your 3-year-old on a sugar high. In a culture that would rather have men stay silent, passive, and apologetic, we're talking about flipping the script on that. Because today, we're going to be talking about how men lead, and not just in life and the chaos of this world, but in the trenches of fatherhood, of faith, and personal legacy. If that sounds like something you want to hear, then stick around and let's get at it. Hey, I'm Rob Johnson. I want to welcome you to the Legacy Gentleman channel. On this channel, every day we talk about the values, skills, and works that be admired and desired 1,000 years from now. And when you have that, you serve. You're a legacy gentleman. Probably going on 50 years now. Being a man is like the punchline to a bad joke. When you speak with conviction, you're toxic. When you take charge, you're controlling. You set standards, it's something wrong with you. You fix stuff without even being asked. You know what? You're just a misogynist with a wrench. What are you to do, right? But let's get real. The world doesn't hate masculinity. It fears real masculinity. Real masculinity is not unpredictable and it's not aggressive. In fact, a real man is super stable. He's grounded. He doesn't need to throw hands because he's got much more of a presence in the room. Everything chills out when he walks in. The problem isn't masculinity, it's broken masculinity. And instead of fixing it, society wants to cancel it. See, gentlemen, think about it like this. Masculinity, it's like a fire. In a fireplace, it warms the whole house. But outside of it, it'll burn everything down. It's not about barking orders or flexing your voice deeper like Barry White on a cold morning. It's about taking responsibility, it's about direction, and it's about having a vision. See, Ephesians 5:24 says, husbands, love your wife like Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Look, guys, that ain't passive leadership. That's sacrificial leadership. That's bleed for your people leadership. See, masculinity means being the thermostat, not a thermometer. It sets the tone and it just doesn't reflect the chaos around you. We gotta bring that chaos in order, man. And look, whether you're leading a platoon or a pack of toddlers, it is your job to bring order to the storm. And you know what, speaking about storms, if you can lead your family on vacation to Disney and survive that line at Space Mountain without having several meltdowns, you're basically a Navy SEAL. Absolutely. When I say front lines, I know a lot of people think military only, but let's be honest. The hardest battles that men face don't involve bullets. They involve like a 2-year-old who thinks sleeping is a suggestion, a job that drains your soul, or a marriage that's really hanging on by threads. And worse, the TikTok comment section. And yet every day, us as men, we show up. We go to work, and we manage to come home, and we lead the whole way. And look, I'm a vet, but look, I know you don't need to be in a uniform to be a warrior. You're holding it down when no one's watching and you're on the front line. Like Joshua chapter 1, verse 9, it says, be strong, be courageous, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you in everywhere you go. Even when you go down the feminine hygiene product aisle at Target, he with you. All right, guys, let's start with fatherhood, because really every man dreams about an adventure of fighting for something that matters, and for a man of a legacy, that battle begins at home. Fatherhood, it ain't for the soft. It calls for you to lay down your life every single day. You're teaching values, you're correcting behavior, you're driving across towns for cleats that she forgot for the third time this week. If you're like me and a dad of daughters, you already got figured out by the time she's 6 what you're gonna do the first time guys her age take notice of her. All right, man, let's be clear. There's a reason why society wants passive men. See, passive men do not challenge the status quo. They won't speak the truth, and they won't raise warriors. And you know who's directing that? People of low character, but they're actually men who want to control you. See, if you're someone who's passive, you're gonna sit quietly, you're gonna stay addicted, you're gonna scroll endlessly, complain, but you're never gonna act. But that ain't gonna be us. That is not what this channel is for. This is not the type of men who watch this. 1 Corinthians 16, verse 13 and 14 says, "Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. Let all that you do be done in love." And guys, that's really the model. Strength, love, authority, and humility. Leadership plus laughter. Hey, that's gonna get you there. Men, real leadership doesn't need a parade. It leaves a wake. A man of legacy might not have millions of followers. In fact, a lot of people may never know who they are. But your children that you raise up, they'll speak highly of you and call you blessed. Your wife will feel safe under your leadership, and your community will depend on you. And when you finally pass on, people will remember you, but they'll also have the lasting impression of the impact you left on your life. You'll be respected, you'll be rooted, you'll absolutely be remembered. So men, what you need to be doing is leading so well that when people say, hey, they don't make it like that anymore, they'll say, yeah, they do. You, right there. Gentlemen, when you're in the front lines of fatherhood, you're not just surviving, you're shaping the future. Culture may hate masculine leadership, but legacy absolutely depends on it. So here's the call. Lead with the way you lead your life. Show up every day like God sent you because he did. Stop feeling ashamed or apologizing or making yourself smaller for being a man. Hey guys, in fact, drop in the comment section, I will lead anyway. And if you hadn't done it, like, subscribe, and share this channel with another brother who might need it. Because the world does not need fewer men, it needs more men who lead from their heart like you do it. So gentlemen, your legacy starts with you. And until next time, go be legendary.